Peshwa Bajirao II's massive army of 25,000 soldiers vastly outnumbered the East India Company at the banks of the river Bhima, who came to battle with just 900 soldiers. Her rout was on the cards, but not in the way you would expect. The Mahars, whom you know today as Dalits, were constantly humiliated and discriminated in their daily life by the upper caste Peshwas, like being forced to wipe proof of their very existence through a broom attached to their backs, or required to wear spittoons around their necks so their saliva would not contaminate the earth. These defeated Mahars joined hands with the British on the first day of January 1818. Fighting like men possessed, they helped their colonial masters defeat the Peshwas in what can be considered one of the few success stories of Dalits over the upper castes. To commemorate this, a victory pillar was erected at Bhima Koregaon in memory of the 22 Mahar soldiers who died fighting the Peshwa army. A site later visited by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar on its 110th anniversary on January 1st, 1927, with a view to revive its memory among the Dalit community. Exactly 90 years after that date, on its 200th anniversary, the Dalits, in a bid to reassert their identity, decided to hold a Dalit Pride rally at the Victory Pillar. Meanwhile, in Shaniwarwada, Pune, another event was being held to commemorate the contribution of Dalits in the Koregaon Bhima battle. Elgar Parishad, a left-wing organization under the auspices of the similarly minded Kabir Kala Manch and Mumbai-based Republican Panther, had as attendees the former Justice of the Mumbai High Court B.J. Kolse Patil and a retired Supreme Court Justice P.B. Sawant.
We must save the constitution from right-wing forces that do not believe in either democracy, socialism or secularism.
The politically entrenched upper castes, wanting to avoid a consolidation of Dalit votes into an opposing lower caste vote bank, objected to the Dalit Pride rally with the excuse of nationalism.
Why are people celebrating a British victory over Indians?
And called for a counter rally on the same day, a sure short recipe for violence. And that is exactly what happened, leading to the death of one person and the injuring of many. After this incident, 2 FIRs were filed by the Pune police, one by the rural police and the other by the city police. Pune rural police filed a case against right-wing Hindu leaders Milind Ekbote and Sambhaji Bhide aka Guruji for orchestrating the riots. Pune city police filed a case against Elgar Parishad for inflammatory speeches and for taking support from Maoists. Maoists have been banned in India by successive governments. We have covered their origin and philosophy in detail in our Gadchiroli attack video. Based on an alleged letter found in the possession of Elgar members,
You have received 8 crore for M4 and 4 lakh rounds of ammunition. Have proposed concrete steps to end Modi Raj in another Rajiv Gandhi type incident.
That there was a Maoist plot to assassinate the current Prime Minister in Rajiv Gandhi style. The Pune city police arrested human rights activists, lawyers and intellectuals for their alleged connection with Maoists. Mahesh Raut for allegedly being the link between jungle and urban cadre of Maoists operating in Gadchiroli, and Shoma Sen, both of whom are professors in Nagpur University. Surendra Gadling, an activist lawyer, was arrested in Nagpur for allegedly providing legal aid to Maoists. Sudhir Dhavle, activist writer from Mumbai, for running an anti-establishment Marathi magazine Vidrohi. Rona Wilson, civil rights activist, arrested from Delhi for allegedly supporting jail Maoist Sai Baba. Stung by the arrest and in an attempt to regroup, Tamil Marxist poet P. Varavara Rao and CPIM General Secretary Ganapathy 72, who carries a 1 crore bounty on his head, apparently exchanged emails on July 4th and 14th.
Central Committee is deeply concerned. Assess damage caused. Rebuild confidence. Use encrypted microchip. Delete this mail after reading.
Based on material supposedly retrieved from Kabir Kala Manch, which according to the police is a front for the Maoists, on August 28, 2018, Pune Rural Police arrested the above-mentioned Varavara Rao from Hyderabad for attending various Maoist activities and events. Gautam Navalkha, human rights activist agitating against Unlawful Activities Prevention Act from Delhi. Sudha Bharadwaj, human rights activist for mine workers in Chhattisgarh, arrested in Faridabad. Arun Ferreira, lawyer author, Colors of the Cage, a prison memoir from Thane. Vernon Gonsalves, former college lecturer and Naxalite committee member from Mumbai. Other than Sudhir Dhavle, who read out a poem, none of the arrested were even present at the Elgar meet in Pune on the fateful day. In fact, Davle, after spending 3 years in a Nagpur jail under the very same Unlawful Activities Act, was cleared on the same charges for which he was arrested now.
He is acquitted on the charges of being a Maoist.
Police alleged that Sudha Bharadwaj was present at the Elgar meeting, but her call data record showed her to be in Mumbai. Evidence against Vernon Gonsalves largely includes books and films found during a search, and a photocopied document recovered from someone else where Bharadwaj is not even mentioned and Gonsalves' name once. Even so, a 2:1 split Supreme Court decision upheld the arrest, even though neither the alleged assassination letter nor any proof of the plot was provided to the court.
They are not being arrested for their dissent against the government, but for their links with members of a banned organization.
While a Delhi High Court had quashed and set aside Nawalkha's arrest, all the others are lodged in Pune's Yerwada jail after first being put under house arrest. Based on yet another letter addressed to Comrade Anand, which the police believe to be Dalit activist and scholar Anand Teltumde, an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and IIM Ahmedabad, and now a senior professor at Goa Institute of Management, arresting him as well after naming him as co-accused in the Elgar case. Meanwhile, the Pune city police's reluctance in taking action against Egbote and Bhide Guruji led to continuous protests.
We are giving the government an ultimatum of 8 days for Bhide's arrest.
Egbote was arrested on allegations that he pre-planned the attack with 4 to 5 other people at a hotel near Perne Phata just 2 days earlier. Sambhaji Bhide was never arrested. The sub-divisional officer of Dawn Rural Police, Ganesh More, who had in February 2018 filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court swearing
Egbote actively participated in the violence,
filed a fresh affidavit later without Egbote's name, instead blaming
the crowd was leaderless. A floating mob was responsible for the violence.
Despite police investigations, the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra constituted a 2-member inquiry commission with retired Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court Jay Narayan Patel and ex-Chief Secretary and Chief Information Officer of Maharashtra Sumit Malik.
I want you to find the person responsible for the violence.
Tensions between upper caste and Dalit are not new to Maharashtra. The struggle over renaming Marathwada University after Dr. Ambedkar lasted 16 years before a compromise was reached. The dispute as to who performed the last rites on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's son Sambhaji Maharaj was also finally settled when upper castes agreed to reinstate the board near Sambhaji Maharaj Samadhi, acknowledging the role of Mahar Govind Gaikwad. Pune City Police, taking their time for the past 2 years and only after losing out in the new government, suddenly hastened to file their charge sheet.
Speeches made at Elgar Parishad meeting were responsible for the violence at Bhima Koregaon.
Their apprehensions on the intentions of the new state government's alliance partners were proved correct when Sharad Pawar wrote to Uddhav Thackeray.
It is wrong to imprison activists on charges of sedition. There has been a gross abuse of power. A special investigation team needs to probe the matter.
In what appeared to be a direct consequence of the letter, a day after Pawar's criticism, the Modi government intervened and the Elgar Parishad case
is hereby transferred from the state police to NIA under section 173(8) of CRPC,
who soon filed a second FIR against the activists thereafter. Maharashtra's new MVA government withdrew 348 of the 649 cases filed in the Bhima Koregaon violence. A 9-member fact-finding report consisting of major Dalit groups had already concluded
the violence against Dalits was pre-planned.
But unlike the Pune City Police, who have gone ahead and filed a 5,000-page charge sheet, the rural police have not yet done so, citing the presence of an inquiry commission, who have been given yet another extension to submit their report, which is now likely to be even further delayed because of the lockdown. Egbote anyway refused to appear before the Toothless Inquiry Commission and was discharged from the case.
The police investigation is yet to be over and the charge sheet has not yet been filed.
State governments are anyway under no obligation to act on the Commission's recommendations. Justice Sri Krishna Commission on Bombay riots of 1992-93 were ignored. Justice B. Lentin's 1987 report on the doctor scandal too was ignored. Retired High Court Justice B.G. Kolse Patil, who organized the Shaniwarwada meet, categorically insists
the riots were pre-planned and had nothing to do with Elgar Parishad. Maoists did not even fund our event. We got the hall for free.
If there really was a plan to assassinate the Prime Minister or overthrow the state, then the activists deserve to be severely punished. Very curiously though, while the police read out the alleged assassination letter to the media, they have not yet submitted it in court. The controversy around the incident ensures that Dalit would not be able to become a unified force. And at the same time, the government got an opportunity to target Maoist sympathizers. But if all the activists did was dissent, then let us leave you with the words of Supreme Court Justice D.Y. Chandrachud's observation.
Dissent is the safety valve of democracy. If it is not allowed, the pressure cooker will burst.
Bisbo's limerick. It all started with a rally of pride. To rejuvenate their morale, the Dalits tried. But Marathas and Maoists soon got embroiled, and the original intention is left in turmoil. Subscribe to Bisbo and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever Bisbo releases a new video. Sources of all our information is listed in the video description section.